Hello, it's Adam Morrison. When it comes to top-tier contracting, my go-to choice is McGillivray Environmental. I know a thing or two about excellence, and that's exactly what you'll find with Kip McGillivray and his team. They're not just any contractor, they're the best in Spokane and North Idaho. From start to finish, they ensure your project is completed with the highest quality results. With years of experience and expertise, they handle it all. New construction, meticulous repairs, asphalt paving for residential and commercial properties, excavation, and even environmental remediation. So why wait? Reach out to Kip McGillivray Environmental today by calling 208-556-6384 for your free estimate. Don't forget to mention my name, Adam Morrison, and experience the difference McGillivray Environmental brings to the table. Again, that's 208-556-6384, McGillivray Environmental. My number one choice for all my contracting needs. M4 CPA is a family-owned accounting firm passionate about helping businesses and their owners create a secure future for their families. They pride themselves on the quality of their work and put their clients first, ensuring they get the attention and care they deserve. Their mission is to provide exceptional accounting services to help you achieve your financial goals. M4 CPA is all about building long-term relationships based on trust, integrity, and transparency. With a team of experienced professionals, they offer personalized solutions to meet your needs. If you're a Perimeter listener, here's an exclusive offer for you. Mention the Perimeter podcast when you reach out to M4 CPA and get a free business consultation to assess your financial strategies. So, if you're looking for an accounting firm that truly cares about your business, trust M4 CPA. Accounting you can trust with a personal touch. Learn more at m4cpa.com. Welcome to the Perimeter, Season 5, Episode 15, presented by McGillivray Environmental, Idaho Central Credit Union, and M4 CPA. Kind of a interesting episode coming up. We got hat giveaway. We got some other things we're going to talk about promotionally, but we had an interesting game the other night against San Francisco. We'll recap the Pepperdine game shortly, but the San Francisco game was a little bit tighter than I think people anticipated. Mm-hmm. I love when I'm right because on this show, I hinted at San Francisco is always good. Mm-hmm. And then if you listen to our broadcast, again, for the people listening to this podcast, if you want to hear like a breakdown of the show or of the game, and I know a lot of people watch on TV that goes without saying, an hour pregame show will give you an idea of what we're kind of looking for.
Yeah.
Get it on iHeart, 590 KQNT, 96.1 in town. So like if you're not in Spokane, you can find that on your phone or whatever. And me and Huddy kept saying, this is a really good team. I know we've beaten them 33 times, but every time we really struggle against you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it's like, I think sometimes, we feel like it, and I think some people feel like we're hyping up the show, and it's like, no, we're telling the truth. Like, this is a good basketball team. Mm-hmm. It's been good since Kyle Smith there, who's now at Stanford. Obviously, Todd Golden just won a national championship last year. He took it to another level. Remember, they got the bid. And then Gerlofson has done an excellent job of keeping it the same style. They've won 20 games 8 years in a row. They've been in the NIT, I think, the last 3, and then they got an at-large, 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So my point is, like, this is a good program, and it always is kind of one of those games, even though we have this crazy streak since we beat them since 1989 in Spokane, which is just nuts. I don't even understand how that's possible.
Yeah.
It really is. It's just insane to even think about. It is. Like, how the hell do you not dumb into a win in like 1992 when like there was whoever was playing at Gonzaga? And that's not a knock.
No, it's not.
Just saying like we weren't really that good until 95, 96. When we had like Bakari Hendricks and those guys, Kyle Dixon and John Riley. When those players started coming in, we got really good. Jeff Brown, I got to throw that out there. He was a good player as well. But we weren't good in like 1989. No. So that part is always just mind-boggling. But anyway, we obviously played Pepperdine, 2 nights before or whatever that
on Wednesday.
Yeah. And the prevailing thought was that Graham Ike was going to sit that game out because he sat out the previous game against Seattle U. We all know about Braden Huff is out indefinitely, whatever that means, but I haven't heard anything as far as like timetable besides what everybody else, 48 weeks. So 48 weeks, all we've heard.
But the prevailing thought was he was going to get healed up, in theory, and then not play in the Pepperdine game. And I kind of was like, yeah, well, we don't really need him against Pepperdine. I mean, they're not very good, man. And again, like, when I do the broadcast and obviously this show, like, these are technically amateurs, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
So it used to be like you always, college kids and whatever, you always soften the criticism because they're amateurs, right? And once you get to the pros, you can say whatever the hell you want, rightfully so.
Right.
And whether people think that's fair or not, it's just kind of how the unwritten rule. Now you're like, well, at least some of these guys are getting a check for $250,000, whatever, $100,000. Maybe I could say they're not very good.
Yeah.
That Pepperdine team is not good at all. It's one of the worst defensive teams I've ever watched as far as just effort.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not a knock on their coach. He's coaching his ass off. He had a good team last year as far as like talent and like playing hard because they had Mo Odom. They had the Serbian kid, I like Rosovic or whatever his name. He was a good player. Then they had the little guard from Texas who was good. And then they had a couple of – so like when we played them, they like at least played hard. And they actually had – this team is like one of the worst transition defenses teams I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, it was a joke. Like, do you remember like the first half we threw it ahead like 4 times and it was like 2 dribbles and like there's nobody back. Like, it was literally like watching like a shitty high school team play like defense. It was so bad.
Mm-hmm.
And like, so my point is like, it was nice that, you know, in theory, Graham could take this game off and get healthy. And it made sense. And, you know, in the first half, Tyan had 10. Davis was good off the bench. I'll get more into him, especially the San Francisco game. We're up, 18 at halftime, and then we end up winning by 24.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of just a boring game to call. And it went as expected. We didn't shoot it well in the second half. We only shot 40%, but our defense was terrific. You know, but this Pepperdine team, man, holy shit, man.
Yeah, I didn't actually get a chance to watch the game, but I listened to your analysis of it at the end, and the first thing I heard when I turned it on was they just looked so slow getting back on defense. It looked like they didn't even.
It's the effort, man,
no effort.
And like it's not a knock on their staff because you could the effort part. Like obviously, coaches. What's the thing? Like, what are the great Gino Auriemma clips? You know, obviously I follow girls basketball probably more than some of my listeners, but like I follow UConn's page and, you know, stuff like on him. And he has a great one that happened like 3-4 years ago where he started the year and he's got, you know, whenever his team, he's got 8 All-Americans and probably 3 girls are going to play in the WNBA. You know what I mean? Like his teams are just stacked. And he's literally like, I'm not coaching effort. If I have to coach effort, you don't belong here. Like, get the hell out of here. And so my point is like, if you have to like, you know, pound the desk every time to play hard as a coaching staff, you're not going to do shit. It's got to be player led.
Mm-hmm.
And you just tell that Pepperdine team, it's not player led. So my point is like, again, we're not doing this just to hammer because we're better than them. It's the effort is one of the worst effort teams I've ever seen.
Ouch.
It just is.
Yeah.
Like it was so bad. Like in 2 games, like just no fight on anything. Like we literally would just run these basic actions or just literally throw it ahead and guys would just be jogging and then it would be like Olay and then nobody would like step. It was just like, holy shit, man. And I couldn't imagine trying to coach a group like that because what do you do is like you can scream at him all you want, but he's probably screamed at him all he wants and showed him on tape. And if it's not player led, then there's nothing you can do. Like it's like it literally is impossible. So anyway, we win that game, and you feel good about it, but you're also like, I'm glad we don't have to play these guys again.
Yeah.
Here's an interesting thing Huddy mentioned. You mentioned on there, right? I think it's actually interesting. They're opening a new building next year, right? And we're not going to get to see it. So it's kind of cool, and I've heard it's obviously going to be state-of-the-art. Anything Pepperdine does is usually, you know, there's money behind it. So in theory, it's going to be nice. And it's like a 3,500 seat, but I think it's going to be volleyball, basketball, so multi-sport, obviously. But to get anything done in Malibu, I've talked about it in the previous episodes. So like to get it finally done, we've beaten them. I think it's 52 in a row. The all-time record for one team is UCLA Cal 53. So it's like maybe we pop down there, help them open their new building, play them on the road.
Yeah.
And then the next year they come up, we do a home and home series with Pepperdine to get the record, but then also see the new building.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's interesting to really ponder that we'll probably never play them again.
It is
in theory.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it is
weird.
weird.
They're not going to make they're not going to make the semis of the conference tournament. I bet a lot of money on it.
Yeah.
So it's like, there you go.
It's
Pepperdine.
a shame. It is one of those teams that like.
Oh, it's how mad I am that we don't get to go down on that trip anymore.
Right.
It's great. We stay in Santa Monica, and then you take the PCH to the game.
Yeah.
It's just awesome. It's just an awesome trip because you're just literally on the pier. We stay at the Sanborn Hotel, which is one of the nicest hotels you can just a regular hotel that's really not. You know what I mean? It's not like it's a 5-star, but it's it's not crazy. But anyway, it's like just a nice beach hotel, like very bougie. You know what I mean? Those are fun to stay at for free, right?
Right.
And then you get you say you're literally 5 minutes from the beach, like walking out is like the hardest thing is going down the elevator and then crossing the street and then you're there. Right. It's awesome. And so like, shit, we're not going to play these guys anymore. So that Huddy brought that up. He's like, maybe we do that. Cause it's like, you kind of want one of those streaks. It's a cool thing to have. It's meaningless, but it's cool. So we beat a team one time, 54 times in a row.
Yeah. That's crazy.
It's crazy. Right. So anyway, that's my recap on Pepperdine. It was probably 5 minutes too long. Who played well at the end? Davis was terrific. He was 4 for 8, 8 for 10 from the free throw line, 4 assists, 17 points. Played 25 minutes. Tyan was good at 12, 4 of 9. Mario was good, had 12, 5 rebounds. Adam Miller shot it well, kind of. Had 11, 5 for 11, but still struggling a little bit from 3, 1 for 6. Braden Smith was good at 8 points. But then Noah Holland, the walk-on, that was a cool story. At 10 points, 4 for 4, played 11 minutes. Played his tail off and did exactly what you're supposed to do. Play hard, swing the ball, set screens. So it was cool. It was a cool game, but it was also a sleeper. It was like one of those where like this running clock, man, it's so boring. They're just so bad. Man.
Yeah,
it's just like again, it's not. I'm not here to just hammer teams. Like we've beaten teams, and if you especially listen to our radio broadcast, I always give praise if they play hard and they try stuff. Sometimes we just have better personnel.
Yeah,
I always do. I'm like, oh, this team was hard to beat. What do you mean? We won by 17? I'm like, yeah, but we had to go on an 11-0 run and like really pound them and pound their will out of them. But like if you look at it, like it was close. Besides that 11-0 run, you know what I mean? So I just, anyway, Pepperdine, not very good. But it was nice to see Davis play extended minutes again. And I think that's obviously going to continue with Graham being out and Braden being out. He's kind of earned the role of playing the 15 to 25 minutes, if that makes sense.
100%.
But so, we go into that San Francisco game and I guess just not even talking to anybody but like just easily, summarizing or whatever it's called, surmising that Graham would play. And I don't know his ankle, whatever, but I think it's the foot that he hurt at Wyoming. So caution, blah, blah, blah. That makes sense. But is not feeling right. Absolutely cool. You know what I mean? It's one of those deals. But if you listen to the broadcast and the pregame show, I was like, it changes the dynamic, obviously, of how we play this team. San Francisco is good. They're better than, I know we've had 2 good games against Seattle U and Pepperdine without our 2 bigs, but you're like, Seattle U is okay, but they can't shoot, and then Pepperdine sucks, and they suck.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit fool's gold, guys. Like, obviously, flying around and stuff, our defense is terrific, but we got to put the ball in the basket, and then playing through your post is kind of what we do. We've done that for the last 5-7 years. I mean, the last team that wasn't post-oriented.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Is like, what was a team that looked like this team?
Technically, you would say maybe the Elite Eight Texas Tech, the team that lost to Texas Tech, because we had J3, but it was Rui and BC, but they were they would duck in and post up, but they weren't true bigs, but it still was like, hey, we're going to kill you inside and then mismatch you. You know what I'm saying? So that one's tough too. Shit, man, we have to go way back to, I mean, even our teams were, obviously I was scoring the basketball. Derek was scoring, but shit, JP averaged 19 and 10.
Yeah.
And then I had Roney for 2 years. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah,
it's just, you got to have post play to be good. Obviously balance, and that's not like a crazy take. Everybody knows that. But it's been a while since we haven't had like a dominant post player in the offense at all. Like, we've had teams that have had only one post. That's what I'm trying to get at, I guess. When's the last time we've just had one good post?
I mean, I'm trying to go back to 01. Like, I'm trying to.
The last team that just had one good post was the year I GA'd. As we had Sam Dower and we had Drew Barnum was our 4 off the bench, and Drew was like 6'4".
Yeah.
That was the last year we had one good post.
Yep.
And we went to the round of 32. So we beat Oklahoma State with Marcus Smart. I remember that game. And then we lost to the Arizona team that lost to the Elite Eight and they had a shit ton of talent, like 3 NBA guys.
Yeah, Sam Dower, and Shimmick was on that team, but
I think he was hurt. Or something.
Was he hurt during the tournament?
I can't remember.
I don't. Yeah, it is one of those things. Like, we've always had a dominant post.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've had just one, just one good post player. So anyway, going into this game without that, it's like, okay, obviously it's fun to have a bunch of good skilled guards and perimeter players, and it's fun, but it's like, got to be able to throw it in the post. You got to run some actions, and going into that game, it was like, okay, this is gonna be interesting. Honestly, like, it's not just because the outcome was like, we said it on the brackets, like, this is gonna be an interesting game, guys. Like, I don't know if we're gonna, I think we're gonna win, but it's gonna be way harder than I think some people expect in the building.
Yeah.
And to start the game, it was nice having the students there.
The Perimeter will be right back after a word from our sponsor.
It's time for Home Team Rewards. Zag fans, get your Bulldog branded ICCU Premier Rewards Visa credit card, the only card where you can earn rewards for everyday purchases while giving back to Gonzaga University. Choose from a Visa Rewards card with a lower rate or a Premier Rewards card with maximum rewards. With no annual fees, card control, and next-level security, you can spend smart from tap to app. Zags, rejoice! Find your card at iccu.com/GoZags on approved credit.
To start the game, it was nice having the students there, right? It's like, okay. So our defensive pressure was fine. They only made one field goal until like the last 2 minutes from 2, which was a weird stat. They were like 1 for 10 from 2 or something like that. And, Jalen was terrific. He has 10 points. Davis Fogel off the bench has 7. He's played all right in the first half, has 4 rebounds. Tyon had a good run. Remember, he scored like 8 in a row or something like that.
Yeah.
He had 9, but that was kind of it. We shot it decent, 15 to 32s and everything, but the key number in the first half was 0 for 8 from 3.
Yeah.
And then 6 for 11 from the free throw line. And, it sucks talking about the shooting, because I think it gets so bland, because it's like such a weird, like, what do you say? We talked about that a ton last year.
Yeah.
People would write in like, what does the coaching staff have to do? It's like, go get him, Tiger. Make a shot. I mean, I don't know. Like, at some point, you like, obviously you work on your shooting in practice, and especially individual work. But also, like, if you don't make them during the game, there's nothing you can do. You know what I mean? Like, it's literally, you can design things to get open looks, in which they do, but you're never going to be wide ass open in college basketball. Like, rarely, there's only a few, but like, you're never like wide ass open. And if you are, you're playing Pepperdine and they suck. Right.
Right.
So it's like, it gets decent teams. So my point is, like, we're up 11. We're terrific defensively. Like I said, they go 7 for 22. But they go 5 for 12 from 3, and we talked about it. Like I specifically talked about it in the pregame show. This team shoots a lot of threes. Their percentage isn't good, but it's part of their DNA. So, like, sometimes you have to throw the percentages out because if it's what they do, it means they believe in it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? It's part of what they, teach and rep. And so, like, teams that do that can get hot easily, right? And then they can stay in games, and especially if they don't think they have the correct personnel. That's how they stay in games. And the 5 for 12 from 3 kept them alive in that first half. Our defense was really good.
Yeah.
It just was. Anytime you're holding people to 25, it's just they threw in some that were like, yeah, dang it. But you looked over, or you looked at the box, and you're like, all right, man, we're in a good spot, and Graham's not in again, and we're obviously not like flying offensively, but we're 15 for 32. We can't bitch that much. 47%. Obviously, I mentioned the 0 for 8, but you're like, shit, we held them to 25. Like, all right, like, can't complain. And we get into that second half, and we just can't find a way to get like a run to like put them away. And there was a sequence towards the end of the game that was, a basketball IQ one that I talked about on the air, and I'll relay it on this show. Just going over the numbers first, like Jalen Warley was terrific again, and he's playing the most minutes, and he's deserved it. He's 7 for 10, has 19 points, 4 rebounds, just flying around. It's crazy that guy could score at the level he does, and he can't shoot from outside like 12 feet. That's not a knock. He just never takes a shot.
Right.
When's the last time you've seen him shoot it outside of 15 feet? I don't think he has this year.
He hasn't shot a 3-pointer this year. I looked it up last week.
I don't think he shot a 15-footer, too, but you're right.
Yeah.
Like, think about it.
Yeah.
Like, even like a 17-footer, like swing, he doesn't even shoot it.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that he's that effective, like I said, it's a crazy comp. Like we talked about last week, what's the comp? And I went with Sean Marion. Some people said like Ben Simmons, which made sense, too. It was like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. We kind of does everything, So anyway, Davis Fogel has 15, but he's 1 for 6 from 3. Tyon has 15, 6 of 12. He was good, but he's 2 for 8 from the free throw line.
Yeah.
Braden Smith was solid. He has 9 points on 4 of 8, has 4 assists, only 1 turnover. Izzo wasn't good. He barely played in the second half. Only had 2 rebounds, didn't score. Mario wasn't great. Not his best game. He's been terrific all season, but not his best game. Has 6 points, 4 turnovers, 2 assists. So he sat. It was interesting at the end of the game. Did you notice that we'd had Braden Smith and Mario out of the game?
Yeah, we did.
And we were playing Jalen at the 1. That's how important he is. He's been this year. That he can play like the 4 and then the 1. But he played 3 years at Florida State as a 1, so that's why he's such a valuable asset. When you're getting pressed, you're like, okay, your 4 is going to have to guard like a ACC point guard, even though he's a 4.
Right.
Yeah, man, you just throw it to him, and then you can just get up the floor, and then you can run your offense through him. So anyway, we're cruising along the game. They're staying with it in the last 3 minutes. They keep making these kind of crazy threes. Legend Smiley, from the kid from Garfield, had a terrific game. I like when kids from Washington State play well. I just do. I think it's cool. He had 18, was 5 for 6 from 3, looked good. And it's also nice to see, a freshman actually gets an opportunity to play.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's, you know what I mean? It's like, yay, this is how it's supposed to be. The kid, Mosic, he used to be at Portland. He was good there. He had a good game. He came off the bench. He had a huge 3 in the corner. He had 11. And then Ryan Beasley, he's kind of like an all-league type guard. He had 14. We did a pretty good job on him, but he made big shots in the second half. 6 assists, but he had 5 turnovers. We hold them to 15 turnovers. So defense wasn't the issue. It's just the second half. We go 0 for 8 from 3 in the first. We go 3 for 10 in the second. So obviously 3 for 18.
Yeah.
And then 11 for 22 from the free throw line. And we shoot 44% overall, 41 in the second, 12 of 29. And here's the sequence I was referencing earlier. Okay, we're up 5. And San Francisco keeps making, like I said, we come down, maybe we score, we get a free throw, we go 1 for 2, and then they make a 3, so they gain a little bit back. But you're up 5, and you're like, okay, let's just get it across, and they're going to foul. We'll make a couple of these. And God bless Davis Fogel, man. And again, this is not a knock on him. I think he's terrific. I've talked about it at length, how good I think he really is, and he's going to be. But he gets the ball skipped on they're pressing, obviously. And he has kind of like a soft 2-on-1. And I could see it coming, and I was like, oh, shit, in my mind, because I was like, you're supposed to dribble that out to the corner. You're supposed to, not, unless you can absolutely score this. Even some coaches say they don't even want you to take a layup, which I disagree with, but it better be literally a camp layup, 100%. Because the thought process is there was a minute 10, a minute 5 left in the game. So there's probably 20 at that point, 23 on the clock. You dribble around a little bit longer, you foul. Obviously, you can set your defense, you can substitute. You can look at who they're putting in. Okay, you know what I mean? You make your 2 free throws, then you're up 7. Game's probably most likely over.
Yep.
He goes in a 2-on-1 and he does a Euro and short arms it, misses it. And I could see Coach Fields, obviously standing right in front of us. I could just see the blood just boiling. And I was saying the same thing, what is he doing?
Yeah.
And they come down, and that Vosic kid hits a corner 3. And it was basketball karma. And again, this is not making fun of him. I'm just going over the play.
Yeah.
Because he's been terrific. But it was uh-oh. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, shit. Because, you have to make that shot. You just have to. And so then it got interesting.
It did, yeah.
And we come down, and what was the sequence before? Did we miss, or what was the sequence before that, before they got the last possession? Did we turn it over or miss free throws? Anyway.
We must have...
I think we missed free throws. Anyway, they get another possession with 27 seconds, and everybody's in the arena, or the McCarthy Center is oh shit, we're only up 2 guys. You know what I mean? And everybody's kind of shocked, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, this is a good San Francisco team. They made 3s in the second half. It's something that we talked about. Like I said, you can't. Yeah, they went 9 for 16, 14, 28 from 3 for overall, but 9 for 16 second half. A team like that, again, I'll say it again, always. When you look at the volume of 3s and the style, even the percentages sometimes can be skewed because they take so many, but it's what they believe in. You know what I mean? And they recruit the guys, and so this is a team that, in theory, doesn't shoot it terrifically. It's not absolutely terrible, but you're wow, they're 34%, 33% from 3, but you're like, holy shit, they take a ton of them. Just is what they do, but they play analytic. They move the ball. It's not just jack. But it's off movement. It's off reads. Very analytical team. And
can I say something?
Yeah.
But it wasn't a free throw. Mario had a bad pass turnover.
Oh yes, what was it? Did he? Yeah, that's a good question. I think he it was a reversal or something. Yeah, it was a reversal. Yeah, we had a ton of turnovers late too. We had the one where Mario went backdoor and Braden threw it, or vice versa, and it just went out of bounds. And you were just like, oh god,
that looked like a AAU pass.
Yeah, it looked exactly. Yeah, I mean, your son's playing, Link's playing, your daughter's playing, my son. We've played against each other, and sometimes when we've played against each other, oh, we have to watch this for another 10 years. Hopefully we clean this up. We love it, but some of it you're just oh my God, just come on, fellas. Come on, ladies. Just make a fucking simple pass. Geez. It was one of those.
You mentioned on the broadcast that, basketball IQ mistakes.
Oh, yeah.
And then I was like, this end of this game when you're talking about Davis Fogel not dribbling out and, not doing the right thing, there are so many moments where, they were making bad turnovers.
Yep.
I mean, they only made 8 points in the last 10 minutes.
Yep. We did. Yeah, that's the other part. We didn't score a field goal for 6 minutes straight, and we didn't score, for 8 minutes straight.
Yeah.
So the lid was on the basket. You got to give a little bit of credit to San Francisco. Defense got going. It's just but they got the momentum because they were making shots, and then San Francisco was making 3s. But again, that sequence where Fogel takes the layup and misses.
Yeah.
And so we get down to the last play, and the action they ran was pretty good. They were trying to get a switch to let Beasley either turn the corner or if you mess up on your coverage, you can, hit a pick and pop. And it was Warley and I think I can't remember who was guarding the ball.
Warley was guarding the ball, and then on the
Warley was guarding Wang, but it was into a switch, and Warley switched late. It was kind of like one of those DHOs, and Wong. It's actually Wong. Had a really good look at it. I thought he was going to make it. It looked good from my angle. Even though he banked it, I don't think he meant to bank it, but it looked like online. And it's a really good attempt, and it could have been a loss and could have broke that 1989 streak. But that one's forever cemented in theory, right? We'll probably never play them again in Spokane. So yeah, we got through with the skin of our teeth.
What do you think about their last? Do you think they made the right choice going for a 3?
Yeah,
there.
They ran an action to have both options. So in theory, they probably want Beasley to turn the corner, but because knowing you have to fan out against them defensively, and they ran enough like the DHO and they got the switch or the miscommunication that they wanted. That's a good shot, man.
Yeah,
it's a wide open. It was a good late contest, but the shot was clean. And sometimes you just run actions. People think when you run plays, you're going to get some wide ass open thing. It's you just got to try to make guys mess up just a tiny bit to get your guys open, and then they got to make the shot. You know what I mean? It's not like high school where you can cross screen, down screen, and some dumb kid's not going to know how to manufacture to get through that or whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, it was one of those
really.
Oh man, haven't had one of those in a while.
Closer than it needed to be.
Yeah, I got closer than it needed to be. Credit to San Francisco, man. I've told you a million times, and like I said, I like being right, but we say it on the podcast. We talk about it on this podcast, they're a good fucking team, man. Don't look at their record, even though they're not bad. They were low hundreds in the Ken Palm, so it turns into a quad 2. But this is a good basketball team. They're always good. They play us, very analytically. If you can just kind of out-tough them, then usually you win. But they can score the basketball. That's what their DNA is. That's why they get good players in the transfer portal and stuff like that, because they play a good style.
Yeah.
And, like I said, Davis Fogel was solid. He has 15, but he was 6 for 15, really struggled late. He had 1 for 6 from 3, but he was good early. Had 9 rebounds, did an excellent job there. And then Tyon was good with 15, and then Jalen was. But those the only 3 guys that really were good offensively, but our offensive numbers were not great. We ended up shooting 44%, 3 of 18 from 3, and then 11 for 22. So, yeah, there was some basketball IQ things, but there's no pictures on the scorecard. Wins win. Obviously, that's going to drop us a little bit in the Ken Palm and things like that.
It did, yeah. We were 7.
7, now we're at
9.
9, yeah. Which is understandable, but the metrics things, how much you win by and all those things matter. And sometimes that's why I've had people be like, how come at the end of games, teams are still trying to score? And it's how come they don't just take a shot clock violation? Because screw that, man. I mean, it literally makes a difference. So, teams keep going. You know what I mean? And then I've always had the rule as a coach, at the end of the game, if it's under the shot clock and you're still playing hard defense, then we're going to try to score. If we basically signal to you we're just standing there, and you try to you keep playing, then I'm playing and I'm going to score. I don't care. And if you say something to me, I'm well, tell your kids to stop playing defense, and we'll stand there and hold the ball. You know what I mean? So anyway, it was interesting. So good job by our guys. Obviously, not having Graham makes a difference. We'll see what he's going to be like against St. Mary's. I don't have any information. I think it's just precautionary. His ankle's tweaked. He knows his body better than any of us. I don't think it's him being soft or anything like that at all. Not even close. I think it's just a precautionary. He knows his body. He knows his ankles. He knows his feet. I think he'll be back against St. Mary's, but I don't know for sure. But you think in a week he wasn't in a boot,
right? He wasn't in a boot, and they were doing like a little mosh pit before as they were getting like hyped for the game, like pregame, like about 2 minutes before, and he was like kind of jumping around and like with the players.
He'll be
like,
fine. He'll be fine by
Was
St.
there
Mary's.
any indication that this was a game time decision situation?
No, I really don't.
Yeah.
I don't. I honestly, I wish I did have that information, but when I first got there, it was like, oh, Graham's not playing tonight. It was, okay, so
Gotcha.
yeah, that's all I heard, and sometimes I get that info, but
Yeah.
you know, it was just one of those deals where didn't play.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's all in all, what are we 9-0 or 8-0 in the league or whatever the hell, 7-0? It's like
Yeah.
we can complain all we want. We're still first place. We got St. Mary's coming up. They're 34 in the Ken Palm. Obviously the last great rivalry of the West Coast Conference. They are 19-3, probably sniffing votes for the top 25.
They are, yeah.
But 34 in the Ken Palm's good. The Morrison kid, that kind of the in between, like 3-4, more like a 4-3. He's having a great season. He's averaging 19.5, shooting 48% overall, making a ton of free throws. Holy God, he's shot 157.
Holy cow.
Yeah, so he's getting fouled a lot, making them 84%. Rebound the ball really well at 7.5. Assist to turnover is not great, but they probably don't tell him to pass. Then the Dent kid is having a good season. Joshua Dent is averaging 13. And then Mikey Lewis is having a decent season, averaging 13 as well. But it's the same story. St. Mary's, they're going to play their ass off. They're going to play a little bit slower, but they're scoring it at a pretty good clip. For how slow they play, they're scoring at 78.5. And then here's the number that's going to be huge for us. Now, hopefully Graham's back. They're plus 11 on the glass, just like us, like plus 9, plus 10, plus 11. So that's always going to be a bloodbath inside when you play them. They shoot it decent from 3, 38%. So, like, it's a good St. Mary's team. It's like, well, what do you know? Like, they just, every year, you're like, who do they have returning? And they're like, a couple of guys that didn't play 1 second last year, but and then he just fills them right in.
Right.
So, like, they, like, kind of redshirt them or whatever, and, like, teaches them how to play in the system. Like, hey, you're not going to play this year, but your sophomore year on or your junior year on, you're going to play 34 minutes.
Yeah.
Because he never really plays a bunch of off the bench. He's always like 7 deep, maybe 8, but sometimes it's like 6.5. Like, he'll play guys, but that's just how they play. And it's always tough out, man. So it'll be an interesting game. It's a quad 1 opportunity. Obviously, being at home is great. If Graham comes back, it'll definitely help us inside. And then I'll be curious to see if Graham comes back, how many minutes like Izzo's going to play off the bench, who's going to fill in that. But, yeah, St. Mary's is always good, man. And it's going to be crazy. That's the last time we ever play him in this building, you know?
Yeah, no, it's going to be I hope the students just come and rock the kennel, like, it's because this will be, unless we do like a weird, not weird, but like unless we decide to do a home and home with them.
I doubt we would ever do that.
Yeah,
that'd probably the only thing we would ever do maybe was like a neutral down there.
Yeah,
you know, like, you know, we hammer a California trip, like play UCLA and then them. I don't
maybe
I don't
like
even know if that even makes sense.
I think that the more likely of the scenarios probably seeing them in tournaments. Like,
like exactly like playing in a Thanksgiving or something.
Yeah, because since we'll be in different conferences, it will be easier to schedule that because you don't put 2 WCC teams in a tournament.
Yeah. So St. Mary's is always good. We have to be, thankful that we're, obviously, what are they in conference 8-1? So they lost to San Francisco, so we have the lead. So we're 9-0, I guess.
Yeah.
We're 9-0, and it feels good being top of the conference. So if we win this game, we have like kind of a pretty good firm grasp on a lead. Be 2 games up on them, and then in theory, if Santa Clara keeps winning 1 game up on them with the tiebreak or whatever, like we're the loss or whatever, they're the loss, whatever. So it's a big time game.
I know we're hoping Graham McHugh will be back, like we said. What does this team do if we don't? Like, if it is not there.
If Graham is not there, this team is more than capable of beating them. It's just going to have to be all hands on deck on the glass. And then, like, if we be completely honest and we look back at the San Francisco game, and Huddy and I were talking about it after the game, and it's true. If we go, let's just say we go 17 for 22 from the free throw line. Let's just say we go 6 of 18, so 3 for 18. Then we're talking like, holy shit, we had 3 really good games against.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, some of it is, again, sometimes I try to provide some criticism or just logical analysis that would sound like criticism to certain fans maybe, but also it's a make or miss league, man. If you make shots, then we win that game going away, and we're not talking about a nail biter.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's just guys didn't put the ball in the basket. Is it concerning? Yeah, a little bit, because we've had some stretches where we don't make threes, but we've also had stretches where we shoot the shit out of it, and sometimes teams and it ebbs and flows. So it's not like we don't have shooters. So I think they're going to turn it around and start making more threes.
Yeah.
But it does help when you have your big inside that's averaging 18, and obviously Huff missing, that's another 18. But that creates double teams and then closeouts. So, like, it's a lot easier to, create offense that way. So that part of it is that, just the personnel that we don't have in. But against St. Mary's, yes. Do we have the toughness and the offense ability? Absolutely. Will it be harder without a big in there? Absolutely. So I'll be curious to see if he does play or does not. If he does not, what the game plan would be. Obviously, we'd have to play small against them, but it'd literally be like, all right, guys, Bloody Nose Lane. Leon used to always write that on our scouting report. BNL, Bloody Nose Lane, and he'd always put it at the bottom. Just like, you better, like, we're hitting people tonight.
Yeah.
And better be ready to receive it too. They're going to be pissed off. So I think that's what it's got to be if you play St. Mary's team, because they're going to do the same thing to you. And it's going to be a fun matchup. I've always had a respect. If anybody's listened to this podcast for multiple years, I always had a respect for that program.
Yeah. They're
fun to play against. It's a mutual good hatred, but it's not like man, those guys are cheap or anything like that. It's like, they always play hard. He finds a way Coach Bennett finds a way to be good every single year. They have a culture. They lean into, like, how small their place is, and it's actually, it's gotten better. They've improved it. It's a nice feel in there. It's a cracker box. It's a little bit vitriol or whatever the word is. And so it's kind of fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I look forward to going down and playing them too in Walnut Creek. But yeah, it'll be a good game on Saturday. It's going to be a tough one. So hopefully we can get healthy. But our guys are passing the test, man. Like I said, if we make some more shots and make free throws, then we're talking about how good we are no matter who we have in the game.
Right. That's true. That's very true.
So I think it goes both ways.
Well, let's talk about the McGillivrays Foundation Player of the Week. Who is your guy?
So I was thinking about it. I wrote one name down, and then I looked back, but I think it kind of be both. But I'm going to go with Fogel because the Pepperdine game, he was terrific, no matter how bad I said they are. But it was nice to see him because he was good against Seattle U. He's another one, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, start stacking him because he's a tremendous talent. He really is. Like, I think he's going to be his comp to me just right now, but he obviously needs to make jumps. Everybody does, unless you're like a special talent. You got to improve every year. But he's like, what's the kid out of the played at Kansas, the Furphy kid that plays for the Pacers now? The Kneppel kid for the Hornets, a poorer man version. Grady Dick, right, for the Raptors.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, the long, super athletic wing is good at everything and plays in the system. Like, that's where I think he can turn. Corey Kispert, you know what I mean? Like, I think he can turn into one of those type prospects. That's what it looks like. Obviously, everything's got to tighten up. I say that to every player. Like, every year, it's like, man, you got to get better at this. Everything's just you got to tighten the screws, man. So it was nice seeing him have a good game. He had a good stretch against San Francisco, struggled a little bit late. He's a smart basketball player. He's not going to make that same mistake he did late.
Yeah.
And I get it. I laugh because I'm like, oh, I remember those days. Like, I want to score again, right? And he just short-armed it. But it's one of those where, like, and he probably knows this, and I'm sure the staff has told him, if you're going to take that, it like literally 100%, you have to make it, or like we might not play at the end of games. I mean, like, because then that's the other option. Like, well, if you're going to take that, even though it's a layup and you're going to short arm it, we can't play you.
Yeah,
and that's the loudest message. You can give a player. It's like, what's the old saying? Like, the player's butt on the bench is like worth more than getting yelled at or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like yeah, it's true. Like when you're sitting, you're like, oh, okay, I get the message now. So yeah, I would go Davis. Close second would be Jalen, and Jalen's been terrific. But I'm gonna start probably saying Jalen the rest of the year.
Right. So
I'm going with Davis Fogel just because he had 2 nice games in a row. Like I said, Pepperdine was great. He was solid against San Francisco. Was a little bit flat on his 3-point shots, a little bit short, but he's a good shooter. Like I said, he's a terrific talent. But also, like, it's okay to be like, hey, that was a dumbass play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you can just tell he has basketball IQ is raised the right way in that regards. So I'm sure when he missed that, he was like, oh, shit. Yeah. And then it's usually basketball karma, and they come down and hit a 3, and it's like, oh, shit.
It felt that way, for sure.
It's like, uh-oh. So anyway.
Do you think the 3-point shot selection has been last game it was this
kind of forcing
it's
it.
kind of forcing it. Like Tyon was forcing it, like Mario. I mean, it was
we had that stretch we didn't score for 8 minutes.
Right.
So that's a really good point. Some of the shot selection, but again, it comes back to if you have your big that has to get double teamed or helped on, it just opens up so much more things. It's just like, sometimes I use football references, I guess, but it's like having a good running game for a passing quarterback.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Oh, play action. Oh, the 7-yard out is wide ass open now. And now you have to, you know what I mean? It's no different. Oh, we have to double team or we have to at least help. And then now I'm going against the closeout or I'm a late rotation. Now this 3 is taken with more space. And it's a swing, you know what I mean? Yeah, because there was one Tyon caught on the right wing that was terrible.
Yeah.
I think Braden Smith took a bad one in the second half, like a step back one on the left side by the student. You know what I mean? And not that he can't make it, but there was no flow, is what I'm saying. There was no flow in that regards and that point of the game. But it's also nice, like, going back to the 8-minute stretch where we don't score. If you're able to just throw it into your big,
right,
then either they get fouled or you get a big double and then you get a layup. So then you break those. Oh my God, we're not scoring because you kind of feel it in the building.
Yeah, you can.
So yeah, man, like you're right. Like some of the shot selection was bad.
Yeah,
it was. So anyway,
well, let's talk about our M4 CPA stat of the week. Something I wanted to bring up, especially with Graham and Huff being out, is that over the season, we're number 5 in the nation in bench points scored per game at 38.
That's great.
But in the last 3 games, we've scored 137 bench points.
Wow.
That's that seems like a lot.
So was that 40 something a game, 42 or something
About,
like that?
yeah.
Yeah, 42. Yeah, that's a ton. I mean, obviously Fogel, like we mentioned, accounts for that, and then Mario's had a good stretch. Yeah, it goes back to the start of the season when we talked about all the question marks, but we're like, one thing we do know for sure, we have a lot of depth. And so like with the bench, it's like basically starters at other places. So
right.
It's a great stat to have, obviously. And that's a unique one. I didn't know we were 5th in the nation. That's a good one. I'm going to use that on the broadcast, but like, oh, you know what I mean? It's making it sound like I was researching when I wasn't. But yeah, it's terrific, and hopefully, I'll be curious. Here's another thing that I'm going to bring up, and it's not to like me clickbait or whatever, but did you know the second half, like Izzo didn't start and they started Fogel? I wouldn't be surprised again if there was some iteration, if Graham's not playing, of that type of lineup to maybe even start against St. Mary's. The problem with doing that with St. Mary's, they have the Harry Wessels kid.
Yeah.
He's a big, just burly, he's a good player, but just like he's in there to like bang. Morauskas is a physical kid.
Yeah.
Strong. So like, can you do that? No, but has Izzo struggled a little bit? Yeah. If you're just being completely fair. So that's something to think about. If Graham doesn't play, but that's some iteration of somebody else starting in that spot, whether it be it's Fogel or Tyon. You know what I mean? Which I don't think it matters, but the production in the post wasn't there on Saturday. It just wasn't.
It really.
It wasn't. Nope.
We need. I mean, I don't want to say we need EK for the next game.
Yeah, we do.
But we do. We do need.
Yeah, we do. Absolutely. And this is not like a play and get injured. No, it's just like that'd be nice. It'd be really nice if he's back.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the bench points thing is terrific.
Mm-hmm. No, I thought that was it is. I think it just speaks to how deep this team is, and that honestly, like we can get anybody out there and score. And the next question that I have for the Ask Adam presented by Idaho Central Credit Union is, how much stock do you put in to
The Perimeter will be right back after a word from our sponsor.
It's time for Home Team Rewards. Zag fans, get your Bulldog branded ICCU Premier Rewards Visa credit card, the only card where you can earn rewards for everyday purchases while giving back to Gonzaga University. Choose from a Visa Rewards card with a lower rate or a Premier Rewards card with maximum rewards. With no annual fees, card control, and next level security, you can spend smart from tap to app. Zags, rejoice! Find your card at iccu.com/GoZags on approved credit.
score? And the next question that I have for the Ask Adam presented by Idaho Central Credit Union is, how much stock do you put in to winning these last 3 games without Huff and EK?
So, like I said, the first one, the Seattle U, I thought that was terrific because obviously they took us to overtime.
Yeah.
And, I think we kind of jumped them with our effort, and they only scored 50, and they were like, oh, my God. And we were just like really, what was the term I used? Wide-eyed, bushy-tailed that game. It was fun to watch. Again, how did I get into like just bashing Pepperdine this whole episode? That game was so like, it was good, but it's like, they're just so bad. I'm sorry. So, okay, cool. And then the San Francisco game, I think it's a lot of stock because this is a really good basketball team without one of your best scorers, your best post presence inside. Obviously Huff is not in. So that's a really good win, even though we won by 2 and people, can say whatever or just be like, what's going on? It's like I said, if we make a few more shots, then the game is a 10-point game.
Yeah.
Then it's a really good win. So I'm pleasantly surprised of how much effort we've put in as the guys have responded to the injuries and played up to the standard.
Yeah.
Because that's harder to do. And it's harder to do when we haven't played 5 guards in a long time.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or just smalls. Like I said, the last team to do that was literally the Sam Dower, Gary Bell, Kevin Pangos, Stocks. That team that we played like 6 guys, and Drew Barnum was our 4-man, and he was a catch and shoot 3-point shooter.
Yeah.
Good dude. You know what I mean? But like, he was not a 4. He was not a big.
Right.
So my point is, like, it's been a really long time since we've played with, like, our 4-man is basically a guard. And so the adjustment, my point is, has been unique, and we've done a good job of making the most of it. But let's get back to throwing the ball inside a little bit more and getting some actions off of that. So I was it's been good. But it'd be nice if the other guys come back.
Yeah,
when they get back.
My take as a fan is just, I think these minutes are just so meaningful for the bench and the
You're right. That's a good point.
And the people who and the guys who aren't playing and how much that will mean come WCC tournament, NCAA tournament, like especially if Huff comes back, like to get Fogel these minutes right now is invaluable.
Invaluable. It was one of those weird spots early in the season because there wasn't enough minutes to go around, but you knew it was a talent and everybody complaining about it. But it's also like, what do you do? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he's done an excellent job of playing within himself in these minutes, not trying to do too much. Let the scoring come to him. He flies around defensively. He's super long. You know what I mean? Like he's a terrific talent, man. He's got a lot of upside, but sometimes you got to learn how to play college basketball. So early in the season, you had to learn, you know what I mean? And then the speed and the pace. And now the speed and the pace is not an issue. So now it's like, oh, here's the talent.
Yeah.
It's definitely shown. So you're exactly right. I think it's a great point is having more minutes for other guys is a blessing in disguise.
Yes.
Oh, I rhymed there. That's sweet. All right.
We got some quick housekeeping. I want to thank everyone for, first of all, we're doing the McGillivray Gonzaga ticket giveaway, and we had about, I feel like 40 reviews put up on between Spotify and Apple.
Sweet.
I pulled out from Apple Podcast, Bob. He said the show's good, 5 stars, but he said week in, week out, this podcast takes a look at Gonzaga basketball. Whether you're a casual fan or hardcore booster, the perimeter with Adam Morrison gives Bulldog fans a unique and informed perspective. So
Sweet. That's a good review. Thank you, Bob.
And we're gonna keep on doing this for at least 2 more weeks. So go and review the podcast on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify. Leave a comment on Spotify as well. Send us a DM that you've voted for us, and that will help get you make sure that you're in the giveaway, and we'll pick that in a couple weeks.
Sweet.
And thank you for all the reviews.
Yeah, more reviews, more likes and subscribes. Everybody always says it, but it does help us. So go do that, and then you get a chance to win tickets to a game.
Yeah. And the next thing we're like we're pushing super hard this year is I want to, and you want to as well, but I want to get the best of local podcasts back. The Inlander does the yearly best of awards, and there's like 75 awards. You can vote for your favorite restaurants, all these different things. But what I want people to go vote for is vote the Perimeter as the best local podcast.
So do you have you'll have a link in our in our deal. Where do you go? Like just right now,
you go
just to Inlander.
Inlander.com, and there's a link at the very top of the homepage.
Okay.
And then there's a link in the bio of our description. I'll put it so many different places that you can find it.
Yeah.
But I'll keep on reminding people, putting in our story, letting them know, like, hey, go vote for us.
We appreciate it. Yeah, like we said it last week or the episode before that we have great sponsors, we have great fan base, we've grown. It's fun doing it too, and so like, you know, this podcasting stuff's harder than people think, and I'm not saying that as like a job, but it's harder to be like relevant and have people continually to listen. Like there's a lot of effing podcasts out there, and I understand that, so we appreciate people. But like if you like and subscribe and do all these things, it helps. It gets more viewership out for everybody, right?
Absolutely,
and it just helps everybody.
I have gotten so much good feedback about how you break down the X's and O's of the games and how that's so much different than other podcasts. But it's just what I think is very unique about our podcast is we're not coming from you're coming from a perspective of knowing what is going on, and it's just a different take, and everyone really appreciates how good your takes are.
Well,
you're fair.
Yeah, I try to be fair, and just the same with our broadcast. And again, like if you're listening to the show and you want to hear like a breakdown of the game before and then after, even if it's the first segment, that's our kind of our initial thoughts.
Yeah,
Huddy and I just get it on iHeart 590 KQNT.
Yeah.
And you can listen to the game, and it's like really simple, but also it gives you an idea when you're watching the game, especially if you're, you know, like who's a hardcore like WCC fan. You know what I mean? It's not a joke, but like who's watching any of these other games, you kind of understand what's going to happen in theory, or like who to watch for during the game. And then also too, like we don't include the wagering in that, but if you do that before and you listen to us, you at least have an idea what the hell's going on.
What was the line for the San Francisco game?
I don't know. I honestly didn't look. I didn't look. Like sometimes I look. The ones I always look are like the non-conference or the you know, like the Thanksgiving tournament ones, just because I'm curious to see what the guys in the desert think.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, like it's one of those deals where if you're into that, God bless you, but like that's another reason to like tune into that show.
Definitely.
You know, that broadcast. Are we doing the hat thing?
Yeah, we're gonna do the hat thing. We're gonna keep on doing this for the home games that we're at for the remainder of the season. This is a fun thing to do, and it's a cool
nice
hat. It's a nice hat.
The 47 brand I love.
Yeah, these are great hats.
Yeah,
and
great hat.
I love how much Gonzaga they you go into the the bookstore, they have so much good swag.
Good stuff, and then they partner with like a ton of brands. I like how they're not just exclusive with like, you know what I mean? Like you literally yeah. Anyway.
So we have I think we have like 42. Oh, and the question was, in Adams' junior year, how many points did he score in 2 games versus San Francisco? And the correct answer was 75.
75.
He scored 41 and 34 in those 2 games.
Yeah.
So
34 was the pass to the Pierre at home too, and he made the 3 in senior night. Okay, here we go.
There you go. So,
and
just get these 2 back in there. Oh no.
Oh, somebody lost. No. It's just
it's fate.
Yeah. Somebody lost it.
All right.
And we're gonna go with Thomas Tucker. That's good enough. There we go. Thomas Tucker, you won the hat. Congratulations.
Last time I did this, it definitely did not zoom in, but there it is. Hopefully that zooms in and out.
Yeah, perfect.
So yeah, you're the winner. Hopefully you live in Spokane. I can just drop it off at your house.
If not, we'll mail it.
If not, we'll mail it. It's easy to mail it.
We'll mail it too. Actually, mailing a hat might be interesting.
It's just I put it.
I make it in a box.
I put the other one in like just an Amazon box with some stuff around it. It should be good.
Yeah, you don't want to get it bent. But anyway,
yeah.
Thank you for listening. That was a long episode, but it kind of needed to happen after the 2 games this week. St. Mary's coming up. Like I said, tune in to the live broadcast. Thank you for continuing to support this show. Thank you to our sponsors, McGillivray Environmental, Idaho Central Credit Union, M4 CPA. See you next week.